So what's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Robert. If this is your first time tuning in today's video, we definitely have a good one for you. We're going to be showing you how I prepare my fish to deep fry it and to fry it up. So stay tuned. It's going to be a good one and a tasty one. I do apologize in advance. This is probably going to be my lengthiest, if not close to my lengthiest video, just because it's going to be so many steps. Frying fish is super easy, guys, but I know a lot of people just don't know how to do it, or maybe want a better technique, or a better, I guess not technique, but better recipe, or just looking for other recipes just in general. So first things first, we're going to go ahead and fire up this little fire here. This is just propane. Just open it up ever so slightly. There we go. There you go. So now we got the fire going. We're going to go ahead and start getting this thing on here. We're going to start heating up our oil. So this is, I use a cast iron skillet. If you don't have a cast iron skillet, you can use other pots and pans. I just find that cast iron is the easiest for cleanup for one. And I've always used cast iron, to be honest with you, so I just like it. But you can fry it up in a regular frying pan as well on top of your stove. You don't have to go with this type of fire. You can go with an electric fryer as well. We have a small, like little commercial fryer, but I personally love to cook outside instead. So that's the reason we're doing this outside. But you can use like a little fryer that they use in the restaurants for like they hang the fries and all that. Also, you can do this with firewood. Totally up to you. But we're going to go ahead and get the oil in here before this pot starts getting too hot. So we have some leftover peanut oil. It's still new, still fresh. I don't reuse peanut oil anymore. By the way, this is what I'm using. It's just Hill Country Fair peanut oil. The Louisiana peanut oil is what I used to buy, but things have just gotten so damn expensive. I'm like, it's pretty damn close. And I don't taste a difference when I'm eating it, so this one is done. I'm gonna have to open up the other one. Get this thing a little more centered here. Oh, you just want this thing to be pretty hot. You'll see whenever it's pretty you'll see when it's pretty hot, because it'll start like bubbling. So you know you're good to go with putting fish in there. Fish and shrimp. So we're really frying up some fish and shrimp. My dad and my uncle are peeling the shrimp right now, getting that ready. And then I'm going to be doing the fish. Once they're done peeling it, then I'll be putting shrimp on here as well. So I personally like to do my fish first. If I'm going to be doing fries, hush puppies, or shrimp, I prefer to do my fish first because it's usually the main course. And I like a good clean oil when I start cooking. So that's the reason I go with fish first and then I do everything else. For a particular order, if y'all are curious, I usually go with fish. I'll do my shrimp, and then I'll do my fries, and then I'll do my hush puppies if I'm doing that. Today, we're just going to do fish and shrimp. But if I was doing fries and hush puppies, that's usually the order I would cook them in that same oil. All right, guys, so now we're just going to sit and wait for this oil to heat up. Once it starts kind of bubbling and boiling, then I'm going to go ahead and put my fish on there first. Right now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you guys how I prepare my fish since we're waiting on this. All right, guys, so I'm going to show you what I'm going to do now. So we'll go ahead and get this out of here. Get this out of here. Take a little drink of water. It's kind of hot. We're here in South Texas, guys. So for those of y'all who are new and don't keep up with the channel, just tuning in for the first time, I am in South Texas. It is freaking hot. It is probably about 104, 105 right now. It's pretty damn hot, and it's still 5 o'clock in the afternoon. Been out here all day just doing random things. But it's definitely hot. So yeah, so we're going to go ahead and show you guys how I prepare my fish. All the fish has already been cleaned and filleted. I fillet the skin off So that's why everything looks pretty clean. I have a little bowl here. So the first thing I'm going to do here is crack some eggs. We're going to crack some eggs into this little bowl here. And I will show you guys what I'm going to do here shortly. Yeah, I know. So we're just going to crack some eggs, guys. And this is my sister. She's, of course, said fish fry and she showed up. So, and then my fiance just pulled in right now. So, and then my uncle's over there cleaning the shrimp right now. I know, she came in fast. You came in hauling ass. She's like, where's that fish? Huh? So I'm probably just going to start off with about 3 eggs in here for right now. Alright, should have brought a napkin, which I did not do. And I don't think I have anything to whisk it with right now. I'll be right back, guys. I'm going to go get a fork and some napkins. Alright guys, so now we got a fork. Now you're just going to whisk this thing up. Whisk. At this point you can add a little bit of pepper if you want pepper in here. Sometimes what I will do also, it just depends if I'm cooking for myself or who I'm cooking for. I will add a little bit of Slap Your Mama. It's a little bit of like a Louisiana blend, Cajun blend. It's like a little yellow bottle. I'll usually throw a very little in there. I don't have any with me right now. And I'm cooking for a little bit more people, so I don't know if they want a little bit spicy food or not. Extra spicy because I already make it spicy, I guess. So for that reason, I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to leave it the way it is. And it's just to help batter the fish, so that way it gets a good hold on the batter, on the seasoning that we're going to be putting on. The next thing I'm going to do is, again, I'll be doing probably another set of this. I'll probably do, once I finish this, I'll do another 3 eggs, and that'll probably be for the shrimp. I'm going to do a little bit of mustard into that egg blend there. And that's just because I think a lot of people like this taste. I've done it like this before and people have liked it, so that's the reason I'm going to keep the mustard in there. And then again, just mix this all up together. And again, guys, I'm not freaking, measuring out how much I'm putting in here. Just kind of eyeballing it. That's how usually food tastes the best, when you eyeball it instead of using measuring cups and stuff like that. But yeah. So we got a little bit of mustard, a little bit of eggs. Salt and pepper. I usually don't put salt, but I will put pepper in there sometimes. Again, I don't have all that with me today, so we're just going to leave it like that. It still tastes really good. I've done this before, just like this. It's turned out just fine. So we're going to put these in here. A couple pieces in there. These are pretty good sized fillets, but yeah, we're just going to throw them in there, let them soak it up. And kind of get all the stuff that we're not going to use anymore out of the way. So they do make these for the seasoning. They do make those little batter boxes or whatever you call them. But I personally don't like it. I prefer just using a Ziploc bag because I don't have to wash dishes. All I do is use this, throw it away, instead of having to wash basically 3 parts for that little batter mixer. I bought it and I find myself never using it. So yeah, waste of money. But so what we're going to do in here is we're going to add some of this, which is, oh yeah, like I said, guys, forgot I was going to show you guys. I'll leave all this stuff down in the description for Amazon. I know Amazon sells a lot of this stuff as well as the oil. And yeah, so this is just Louisiana Cajun crispy fish fry. It really does have a little zing to it, a little spice to it, and it is crispy. It does leave it pretty crispy. So this has been my favorite. I've tried, I don't even know how many freaking fish batters in my lifetime, this has been the one I've stuck with the most. So I'm gonna go ahead and open this thing up. They do sell it in bags, guys, like this. I'll show you guys right now what it looks like. They do sell it in like bags like this. This is for shrimp, but they do sell it the same one in this in a bag if you don't need a whole lot. Again, I'll link it all down below as well. But we're going to be doing quite a bit of cooking today, so this is what it looks like. I love the way this stuff smells, guys. Whew. A little spicy. Got it up my nose right there when I opened it. So you just want to pour a little bit in here. You don't want to pour the whole thing because it starts to get a lot of moisture because you're dipping it into eggs and then you're putting it in here. So it starts to get like real like bulgy, like rocky. It's not so fine, the powder anymore. So it doesn't stick as well. So that's the reason you pour it in little increments as you need it. That's the best way to do it. Make sure I have everything ready. So we're going to be putting that fish in here as we batter it. And then we're going to be dipping into the oil. The oil should be ready to go pretty much right about now. So we're going to go ahead and get that ready. So here we go. You just want to layer both sides with the egg. And get this out of the way. Get this a little closer to me. I can already taste the fish fry already, guys. But yeah. Like I said, I've done it like this without the pepper, without the seasonings. It turned out really, really good. You just get a napkin, wash my hands. Alright, so we got a napkin, washed our hands. Now we're going to go ahead and kind of just grab it up at the top. Put some air in there. So we need some air in there to get a good mix. So, just going to put it down on the ground. Get some air in there. Got a bee trying to check us out for whatever reason. Alright, so we got a little bit of air in there. That's how you get a good mix in there. You let all that powder just kind of jump around in there. Yeah, and that's it. Just mix it up, guys. Obviously, they make different color bags. If you get a clear bag, you can see exactly how much coverage you have on your fish fillets. So there we are. Show you guys right now. So everything is pretty much covered up. Everything looks good. Now we're going to go ahead and put it into our deep fryer here shortly. So I'm just going to get these fillets. I mean, look at this. Look at this, guys. Come on. Come on. Delicious. So we're going to go ahead and get this set up here. And you don't want to overcrowd them. You want to let them breathe a little bit so that way they can get nice and toasty. And remember, you don't want to cut your fish fillets up too small because they will shrink as they get hot in the oil. So probably put another 2 or 3 pieces in there and should be enough for that. It's kind of a big piece. But if you did catch some smaller fish, then you will have smaller fillets. But it's best if you just get a little bit bigger pieces than you would think because they will shrink in the oil. But yeah. And again, guys, you don't have to use mustard. I use mustard because I like mustard. I like that little flavor it gives it. Personally, I do. But if you don't, or if your family doesn't, then yeah, you don't have to use the mustard. You can just use the eggs. The eggs just helps everything bind together. So you can get a good layer of batter on that fish. Again, same thing, you just mix it up. And then I'll probably stop recording after this one, guys, and then I'll show you whatever, can't even talk now. I'll show you what it looks like when it's done. And then I'm going to go ahead and fry up all the fish. Once I'm done with the fish, I'll show you how I do my shrimp as well. It's pretty similar, pretty much the same thing, but I'll show you guys the shrimp as well. So this is what I was talking about, guys. That's why you don't want to put all your batter in there at once, is because it gets kind of clumpy. So that's why you want to put it in there in small increments. So like right now, if I put it in there, it's going to be really, really clumpy when it comes out of that fryer. So that's why I'm going to go ahead and put some fresh stuff in there now, and it'll be nicely battered, and it'll fry a lot nicer. It's getting really hot right here by the fire, by the way. See the difference, guys? Fresh batter looks a lot different. Not all clumpy. All right. All right, so that's it for that. Now we're going to go ahead and put it in the fryer. Alright guys, so we're going to go ahead and put it in the fryer. It is freaking hot, and I did forget my gloves, so there is that. And usually it'll take about 10-15 minutes, and we should have some fish fillets. Alright guys, so here is the fish. I'm going to go ahead and lower the fire a little bit more. These are a little bit darker than I would like, so I'm going to lower the fire, which I already did. As you guys can see, the fire is a little lower, so that way it gives it more of a golden brown look to it, and a little bit more cooking on the interior as well, not just on the exterior. So yeah, if you ever see them like a little bit too brown, not to your liking, just lower the fire, and they'll be a little bit more golden brown. So yeah, just wanted to show you guys the fish. All right guys, we're going to go ahead and check these now. This is since we lowered the fire. So you can tell the difference. I'm going to leave them in there a little bit longer, but you can see the difference. They're a lot more golden brown versus the other ones were darker. And that's just by reducing the fire. The reason I'm leaving them in there is because I could still feel that they were soft. When I was bouncing them around, I could still feel the jiggliness, the softness. I don't know how to explain it. Alright guys, we're going to go ahead and check it again. Should be ready now. Yeah. Once they start floating, also guys, in case you don't know, that's when you kind of know that they're ready. So when I was telling you guys not to cut these pieces so small, pretty much they took up the whole tray whenever I put them in there. And now you can look at them now, you can pretty much stuff them into about half the tray. So if you cut them too small, you're going to have a bunch of little baby pieces. But if you cut them a little bit bigger, which that one I probably could have cut in half, but I was like, too lazy for it. But yeah, that's what they look like, nice golden fillets. Just by reducing the fire, as you can tell the difference from the last one to this one. Now we're going to go ahead and get on the shrimp. Alright guys, so now we're going to go ahead and start on the shrimp. All the shrimp has been peeled, so it doesn't have the skin anymore. The ones we're going to cook now were head-on shrimp. They're a little bit different than the other ones are going to be cooking. The other shrimp are going to be cooking later. But regardless, we cook them the same way. It's just two different types of shrimp. So I'm just going to show you one. Now the batter I'm going to be using for this particular one is the same one I was using for the fish. But I'm going to show you the other batter that I'm going to be using on the other ones. I'll show it to you right now, just kind of show you the bag. Yeah, you do this the same thing. You just mix it up, get some air in there, and then you put it in the fryer. I do the same thing, the mustard with 3 eggs on this one, and it gives it a really good flavor. I've done this before as well. I've also done it with the the other seasoning I'm going to show you right now. Both come out really, really good. Just kind of depends on your preference. If you don't like spicy foods, you're probably going to want to go with the other one, which I will show you right now here in a little bit. But again, just a little bit of air, and just give it a good mix. And you'll be able to see that everything gets coated. So, need to add a little bit more seasoning in here. More. Hopefully that should do it. Okay. Just gonna shake them out of here. The shrimp, it really doesn't matter too much if you do lay them over on top, since they are so small. They really don't get in each other's way, also because they're not so thick. So that's all of those shrimp there. So we're gonna go ahead and get those in the fryer. Alright guys, just wanted to show you guys what the different batter looks like. I'm going to show you the batter right now as well. But these look a lot more powdery, and which it works great for shrimp, and that's the reason. It's a lot more powdery, so it grabs a hold of the shrimp a little bit better than the other one. But if you want more of a grainy type of batter, then that red bag or the red box that I showed you earlier is probably better. But if you want it more like that those little crispy edges on the shrimp, you're going to want to go with this one. Alright guys, we're going to go ahead and take out the shrimp with that new batter that I showed you guys. That little pinkish package that I showed you. It's the one that looks a little bit more powdery. So the shrimp are starting to float up, so they should be good to go. So this is what they look like, nice golden brown. Looks delicious, guys. So that's what the shrimp looks like with that batter. So we're going to go ahead and take this out, and we're done with this one. Alright guys, well I hope you all enjoyed that quick video. Well, not so much quick, I'm sure it's going to be a lengthy video once I edit it. But I hope you all enjoyed that video on how to fry up fish. Specifically, we cooked catfish and we cooked some shrimp. This shrimp was picked up in Corpus, brought all the way here, and we fried it up. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed it. Until next time, be careful, be good, take care, and God bless. See you guys later. Bye-bye.